All right, so I'm sitting here at the big IFA sign here at IFA in Berlin 2014, and I'm actually here right now to bring you this rundown on the Samsung event, the premiere event, Unpacked, episode 2 for 2014, because, well, we had to rush out of the Samsung event itself in order to make it to the Sony event, which you're probably seeing a lot of videos from there already right now. But I did want to give you this rundown to just sort of give you my thoughts on the unveiling and the show itself, and it actually was a very interesting one. Now, obviously, we already got a look at the devices themselves a day before the actual event, and you are already seeing those videos right now on the Note 4, the Note Edge, the Gear S, and even the Gear VR, which is a very interesting product in and of itself. And essentially what we're looking at here is really Samsung's next iteration, next evolution of their Note line. Now, if I can be a little bit candid here, I will say that the Note line pretty consistently excites me more than the Galaxy S line, and that definitely was the case right now. The Note 4 now has a metal edge all around it, and it has a very nice feel and look to it because of that metal edge. But speaking of edges, what we have now is the Note Edge, which I do have to say is a phone that I feel like I would be buying myself at some point, because not only is it super different, it is also a bit of a special edition, so you're not really going to be finding it too easily on in other people's hands. But one thing I do have to say about the Note Edge is that, well, that edge on the right side, that does provide a bit of a ticker on top of the experience that you probably will have already on the smartphone that is essentially the Note 4, now with a curved right edge. The only thing is, when you're holding it in your right hand, or even your left hand, it doesn't even really matter which hand you're holding it in, you might actually trigger that edge accidentally on the side. So that's something I did want to sort of put out there. No matter how cool it is, how different it might pose a bit of an issue when it comes to usability. But from there, we also have the Gear S, which is a curved display smartwatch, but really that's not the only story behind it. Really, the biggest story when it comes to the Gear S to me is the fact that it's so huge. If you really wanted a smartwatch to be basically like a smartphone being strapped onto your wrist, well, that's exactly what the Gear S is, especially because it'll take a SIM card and be able to perform a lot of the tasks your smartphone probably can already. Only now it's now on your wrist, and you'll be able to do a lot of those things without being tethered to a phone, which in itself is pretty cool, but it's also kind of odd to have an entire, let's say, Galaxy S2 or something like that strapped onto your wrist. That's exactly what I thought when I first put it onto my wrist. That being said, though, it is Samsung's image of the future when it comes to our wearable technology, and that also includes the Gear VR, which we weren't able to get a great look at the moment when we were taking a look at the rest of the devices, but at the booth here at IFA, we will take a much better look, and they told us that they have chairs available and you'll be able to get the full experience in sort of a controlled environment, so we're really looking forward to bringing that to you. But again, if I could be a little candid, it's like Samsung took the Google Cardboard, if you remember from Google I/O, the Cardboard idea, and really like turned it on its head. Like they gave it to Oculus and was like, go nuts with it. Obviously they probably had this in the works for quite a while, but it just reminded me of the Cardboard that I used out in Google I/O. As far as the presentation went, it was pretty standard in terms of what Samsung usually puts out for their releases. It's a typical motif of having the people up on stage sort of talk amongst themselves without really acknowledging that the audience is there for the most part, and they try their best to not have it really scripted. There are obviously the two representatives from Samsung and then one media personality that's there to give sort of the regular person's perspective. So the presentation was really what you would expect from it, but it was nice and flashy. They provided a lot of insight as to why the new features on all these devices would really work for you. But what really interested me was the fact that the partnerships with Samsung continue to get even better. You have Swarovski, which unfortunately a lot of guys out there, probably all the guys out there, won't really be looking at Swarovski as the different types of like cases, or let's say the watch band for the Gear S that's all bedazzled up. It might not be for everybody, but it's another partnership that they have, and the one that I thought was really interesting was actually with Montblanc. Now, Montblanc obviously is known for their writing, their pens, and it's just a great experience all around. They also have great watches too, if I might add. But Montblanc has created a pen that can be doubled as the stylus for the Galaxy Note 4. Now, it's great to see that Montblanc has come onto the fray when it comes to being a partner with Samsung, and it really shows that Samsung is able to have like a very extended reach with a lot of different companies all over the place, and Montblanc being one of them is really interesting. I'd be interested in trying out one of those two pens that were announced and really seeing how they work, not only in writing but also as styluses for the Note 4. But yeah, like I said, we're near the end of the day of this first press day, and you can probably hear it in my voice that I'm really kind of losing my voice after talking so much. But there is so much to talk about here at IFA, even though the show itself hasn't even started. And in this sort of rundown I wanted to give you on Samsung, I do have to say that in the past when I've gone to Samsung unveilings, I have sort of walked away from a couple of them thinking to myself, well, it's nice that they've added these particular things to the tablets or phones, but they didn't exactly excite me. I can tell you this much, when I started using the Note 4 in particular, I did get pretty excited about what I was seeing there. Not only is it a refinement in everything all around from the original Note 3 of last year, it also provides a lot of its own characteristics and its own style, which I think is really great, especially with that metal edge. So I just wanted to give you that rundown and give you a look at the actual event itself so that we could really share with you the experience that we have here at IFA. But it is time for us to get back to work and bring all these great videos out for you. So make sure you stay tuned to Android Authority, because we are your source for all things IFA 2014.